this.
Yeah.
Right.
And we can sit at it. And I sit at it humbly and comfortably and knowing that God is blessing us with every single step we take. And I didn't have to go outside of our own community to build this. I'm in your house. We in a studio that's incredible, in one of the most beautiful houses I ever seen. We built this together.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to another episode of the Next Level Living Podcast, your favorite podcast. And what else, Chris?
Rated the #1 podcast amongst anybody who like podcasts.
Rated the #1, man. I'm your host, Jeremy. My cousin, blood of my blood, flesh of my flesh, Crystal Hartsville. How you feeling, cuz?
I'm feeling good. I mean, I feel like we're not doing Mike justice right now with the intro, but y'all just wait.
But you know what? That's what happens when you miss your flight.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying?
There you go.
He had the Beyonce concert, and they literally couldn't get no flights out.
It's a good reason to
him
miss
in a
your flight.
metallic outfit.
Oh, for sure.
Mike had the metallic hair.
I said, that's what you get for being at the concert in a silver glitter suit talking about,
with the eyeshadow. Anyway, we're gonna put a picture in there for y'all so y'all can see.
But Mike will be here next week.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody fall off. That's still the homie.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Nah, I'm
He'll
in the
be here.
beehive, so I'm not mad at my man.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? I've been in the beehive for quite some time.
You went to the concert?
Oh, I've been to all of them. Every single one.
Straight up.
Every single one.
It's something expensive.
Listen, you want to talk about old school beehive? This is a true story. I saw Beyonce open for Chico DeBarge. How about that?
What year was that?
Come on.
Wow.
This had to be 2000.
This Destiny's Child.
Wait,
This
this might have been 99,
I was about to say,
98.
You was in a Destiny's
Yeah, I was in high
Up
school.
for Chico DeBarge.
She opened up for Chico
that
DeBarge
was
and
nice.
West Side Connection
Yeah,
at the
that was
Breslin
nice.
Center,
That was
East
the 90s,
Lansing.
bro.
Dang.
That's a fact.
Okay,
That's
so
a
you a
fact.
day
That's
one.
deep.
You a day one.
Oh, I'm
for
day
sure.
one.
Okay.
Hey, in case y'all
That was
wondering,
Destiny's Child, of course. It wasn't just
Yeah,
Beyonce.
for sure.
But I remember they came on first. And we was like, yo, man, dang, they kind of fire.
kind of
Yeah.
fun.
And they did, I think it was No or Bill's, or one of the,
Yeah.
but whatever the first one was, they did that joint and they was gone. We was like, man, that was kind of, and sure enough, later on. So but I've been to all of them. I'm a fan of excellence.
Straight up.
You know what I'm saying? So
Excellence.
yeah.
Pause real quick. Your mic is not excellent at this moment.
yeah, get your mic.
So let's
Excellent.
get that
mic.
together.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Come on.
Sometimes that heat that be coming
Yeah.
from me, that hope be jumping off that thing.
Yeah, I'm a fan of excellence, bro. And when you get a chance to see the best in the world and how they operate, I was at Mercedes-Benz and I'm watching the production and I'm like, baby girl ain't miss a step, a vocal. Her daughter ain't miss a
Nothing.
vocal.
Yep.
Hove was in the suite next to me.
Yep.
I'm like, this is excellence on the highest level, and I'm going to soak it in and make sure I can use a little bit of it,
Yeah.
for my own little world going forward.
That's
so
right.
shout out to Mike. Miss your flight again if it's, between being here and being with the queen.
Oh,
Go ahead and miss
man.
that flight, big dog.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
thing is something special. So in case
Yeah.
y'all wondering, man, CJ, Carlas Quinney Jr., you know what I'm saying? Like my brother, my
government.
dog, mentor, business partner,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Mogul on so many levels.
Come on, I
ET.
gotta cross my legs when you say
know what I'm
mo.
saying?
That's when I cross. Hey, Ash, this is what I call the money cross.
Listen.
You know what I'm saying?
Listen.
A lot of people don't like when I sit like this, but that's when we start talking money. I got to bring the legs
Mogul,
out.
He said, let me let him know.
Yeah, I got to bring the legs out.
For sure. But for real, y'all, the right-hand man to ET, there would be no Eric Thomas and Associates without, this brother here, man, and his humility, his spirit of excellence. Low-key, he didn't want to come on the podcast.
Well,
Talk about
low-key,
himself.
there would never even be a podcast if it wasn't for him.
Oh, yeah, facts. Yes.
Yeah.
The conception of this came from you.
Yeah.
And then we'll talk about our other podcasts, too.
Yeah,
But welcome to the show, bro.
For sure. No, I appreciate y'all having me on. You know what I'm saying? It's even though I got hoodwinked a little bit,
It's been a
I'm
long
here. I
time.
thought we was doing another podcast.
Got him.
I'm like, man, but anyway, it's a pleasure to be on, Chris. Admire what y'all do. Sorry that Mike couldn't be here. Mike got that energy.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? So
He'll be
I'll
here
hold it
soon.
down for
But
him.
if he was here, we'd probably be at 54 minutes with you.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
100%.
So let me say this too, yo.
100%.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So he is the mind behind, brands like myself, Inky Johnson, Jamal King, 9 to 5 Millionaire, Toby, you know what I'm saying? Like E.T., like Alex Burton, like, bro, you know what I'm saying? When we look at our camp, you know what I'm saying? You were a core pillar,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying, with all of us, as we're building out things to help us to scale to that next level. And Chris, I ain't gonna lie, I would be at a whole nother level right now in my life had I taken his advice sooner.
Dang.
I ain't gonna hold you, Trap. It was some things he was telling me to do, and I was like, I mean, I guess, but it's like
why
I'm
didn't
getting
you
to the
take-
bag though. Don't get it
Yeah.
twisted. But
He
it's
didn't think
just
I knew
like,
I was talking about.
yeah,
Okay, so
but
you
it's
didn't
just
take
like,
it.
But I'm realizing, like, even the curriculum, bro. Before we start our next level students curriculum, we got it in schools across America. Like before I finally pulled the trigger, you told me to do that a year and a half before I finally decided to do it. You know what I'm saying? And so, man, glad you on the show, man.
So now you finally accept he has a gift of vision.
Well, for years now. You know what I'm saying? But I knew then,
Yeah.
but you know how it is. It's like, but this is working for me, or I really don't feel like doing something else because I'm making money and this is cool and that's more work.
Yeah.
But I got to a point, it's like, I can add more value to the marketplace. So let me make this move. And then when you start seeing checks and contracts come in, you ain't got to do no work. It's like, why didn't I do this a year and a half ago? You know what I'm saying? So I tell people now, like, if I'm going to coach you, if I'm going to mentor you, I tell folks now, like, just do exactly what I said. You know what I'm saying? And now I'm following the same thing. Even if I don't quite understand or I don't quite agree, it's just like, you done built multi-million-dollar companies and businesses across the globe. Like, let me just,
come
let
on.
me lean not to my own understanding.
Come on.
Thank you for getting my cousin together.
Now that we done cast you up.
Yeah, appreciate it. No, man, it's good to be here, man. I like talking about other people's lives more than my own, but I'm here for you. You know what I'm saying? I do whatever I can for y'all. So
So the story will be told. I can see a documentary in the future. And let me just highlight what makes you special and unique, right? We don't just bring, I got a whole bunch of friends and homies, bro, that ain't never been in my crib. Folks I went to high school with, like people that'll never come to the show. I don't just care about the success. It's the individual. Bro, the fact that you work with E, man of God, y'all at Michigan State, got a program, doing your thing. He said stop having sex with your girl, and you did that, and then y'all got married.
For the most part.
Right.
Hold up.
A couple late nights, I might have slipped up. I gotta be honest in front of God. You know what I'm saying? Like, he told me to stop, and I slowed way down. I'm talking about, I pulled all the way off the throttle.
Right.
But I did have a couple accidents.
Okay, so you went from green to yellow.
There you go. So, but I don't want to put it up there. Because you know how the story start getting retold. 5-10 years from now, I got to, my wife still know the truth. So she looking like, hold on now. You know what I'm saying? But I did slow way down. Way down.
But I'm saying, but like, you took orders. You know what I'm saying? You followed instructions.
Absolutely.
But why did he tell you that, though?
So it's funny, man. It's so crazy. Like, E is always on character. And sometimes people will be like, yeah, E, but you don't talk about money. And E used to tell me all the time, like, they print money. And he said, look at all of the greatest leaders that we had. He said, there's one thing that took them all down. And he was like, and it's undefeated. And I remember being like, dang, we went through like all the men that we were looking at, whether it was presidents or world leaders or whatever. And it was like, man. And I told E, I was like, but bro, I ain't even doing nothing crazy. And he was like, yeah, right now.
Right.
And he was like, but where we're going. Now, mind you, at this time, I'm a graduate assistant making $1,200 a month. E making like $36,000. And he's sitting in there, he's like, bro, where we're going and the type of influence you're going to have and the type of people that's going to be around, he said, I know your character. He said, you came up, you got a phenomenal father, you got a phenomenal mother. He was like, you a great brother, you're going to be a great husband, all of those things. He said, you got one thing on you that I could see could bring this whole thing down. And he said, it's that. He said, so I'm going to need you to work on that right away. So I did go into, all right, let me see if I could discipline myself for real. Because, again, Trap talked about it, but men follow other men. So here's the thing. If you on the same level I'm on, what am I following you for?
Yeah.
I love, my favorite thing, Jay, and you're going to feel me on this, I swear, because I'm married faithfully, all of that. My favorite thing is bros who'd be like, but man, when it comes to women, dog, I just, like I'm gay.
Yeah.
My dog, I see the same young lady you saw.
Straight up.
She's just as fine to me as she is to you.
Right.
So don't try to make yourself seem special because you really love women. Right. Oh, I really love women. No, I do too. No, I promise you. But I'm telling you, the difference between somebody who can control themselves and somebody who can't is the difference between leadership, millions of dollars. I'm not trying to be funny. Our football coach at Michigan State just lost $90 million.
Straight up.
My man lost $90 million.
Straight up.
Because of one thing.
Right.
It won't be, listen, he had let me tell you how crazy this is. Talk about discipline real quick. They said his contract stated the only way you can lose this $90 million is a morality clause. If you bring shame or embarrassment to the university, that means, Jeremy, he could have went 0-12. They could have not, listen, we could have lost every single game from here for the next 5 years, and they would have had to pay him $90 million. There was only one thing.
Wow.
That's it. Just the one thing. And he couldn't do it. So when E was talking to me as a 20-year-old, 21-year-old, what he was already seeing was, bro, we gonna get influence. We're going to get money. All of those things are going to come. Will you be ready when it comes? And so that's what it was about. And so I'm not perfect, but I'm telling you, I wake up every day with, how can I stay disciplined? How can I be disciplined? And I'm grateful that E's first lesson to me was, hey, we about to slow that down, because now everything else is easy. Business ain't hard.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like we doing well. So yeah, E man, he is a visionary. He understood that character piece before a lot of people did.
So you see Jeremy, you see E.T., you see Toby, you see Inky. What inspires you to like pour into them? Like,
you know what's so funny, Crystal? Like, I love it. People like, see, you so humble, and you know, it like when I grew up, like I wanted to be Jordan too. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think there's a misconception that like
you just want to be the coach.
Like when we had Halloween, I was like, can I get the Robin costume? Like, no, I wanted the Batman costume too.
Right.
What happened was when I met E, I remember feeling like, oh, I met somebody on a whole nother level. And I think like, you know, me and E talk a lot about, you know, Hove and Dame and how they broke up. And I honestly think that God blessed me and E because E's 12 years older than me. So it was kind of a built-in big brother. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like we were the same age, because I don't know. I'm not going to sit here and tell y'all that my ego was so in check that if me and E was the same age, I'd have felt comfortable being like, hey, you just go out in front. I've been speaking my whole life. I was speaking long before I met E. I won the Governor's Service Award for the state of Michigan. Probably like soon as I met E, I was already doing that. I spoke for the mayor. I spoke for the governor. Like, I was out here getting to it. When I met E, what happened was the two of us was running and nothing was working in my mind, right? Like, E speaking, I'm speaking. So I started looking like something going wrong. Like, we out here doing all of this work and we're not getting no gigs. We're not getting any money. What's going on? And I realized that having Shaq on the team is sweet. Having two Shaqs isn't.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, like Shaq is a baller. But I promise you got two Shaqs starting, your offense can't even run like that.
Somebody got to be the Kobe.
So somebody got to be the Kobe. And so I was like, you know what? I'm going to let Big Dog have it. I'm going to go behind the scenes. And what I'm going to do is go behind the scenes and figure out how this whole process works. So I developed a whole nother skill set. I stopped speaking for years. Like, I might introduce E or go on stage and like do a little warm up for him or whatever before he came on. But I went behind the scenes, like, don't edit my stuff. Don't put my stuff out. We focus on everything in on E. And what happened was, during that time, I acquired this skill set. So when I acquired this skill set, I wanted to impart that same skill set onto my brothers. So Jeremy, Inky, Toby, the people you talking about, Dave, you know, Alex, like, I wanted to give them the game that I had learned behind the scenes, but it was never because I was just this most humble person in the world who didn't want to speak and didn't want to talk. I kind of developed that. And I will say this, I only wanted to win. I never had, man, God bless me, bruh. I tell people all the time, and this is going to sound very non-humble, I've been the man since kindergarten. My teachers called me Mr. Kindergarten. I never needed validation from the outside world. I always been that. I always believed God blessed me to be the one. And I always operated and walked in that. And that might sound arrogant to somebody, and I apologize. It might sound cocky, whatever. But I always believed. My dad told me when I was young, you're the one. You're the one. My mom told me, you're the one. I always believed it from them and from God. So I didn't need, bro, we'd be in the airport. People would be like, excuse me, can you take this picture of me and E, you little pump, you little, I'd be like, hey, I'm right there. Like, let's go. People in the Instagram comments, anytime one of my videos come up or I'm talking to, who is this bum? I want to hear Aaron Thomas. Bro, I've been validated by God and my parents and everybody else my whole life. I never needed that. So for me, being behind the scenes, watching you go on stage in front of 10,000, I don't feel like, man, I should be going on stage in front of 10,000. I feel like I am going on stage in front of 10,000. My brother is. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of men, they don't want to deal with the insecurities they have. And that's the reason they can't go behind the scenes, or they gotta be in the limelight is because they got these insecurities and need to be validated, which is why I only work with people who don't need that.
Oh,
So that's the answer right
listen,
there.
if E was the type of person who would be like, hey, y'all, look at me. E was the most uncomfortable. I told him, E, this Jackson 5 thing ain't working. Somebody got to be Michael, and it's going to be you. E was like, man, I don't want to do it. I'm not comfortable with that. I don't want to do it. And so I convinced him of that. And so it's easy for me to then play the two when you feel like the one ain't trying to play you.
Right.
And I don't know how many of y'all done heard E speak from stage. He probably say my name 16 times a speech because he make it. And I tell people all the time, he's subconsciously making sure I know that he knows that I know that he knows. And I don't even need that. But even we've been together 17, 18 years and he will still do it. If I'm in the crowd, he can be like, I didn't even want to do it. See, this was C's idea. That's how he's always going to make sure so even with my brothers, yourself, Ink, like everybody who our team and our table that we've built, it's a family. So everybody got their part to play in the family. If it's a potluck, somebody got to bring the greens. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, Toby got the mac and cheese, you got the yams, he got, you know what I'm saying? The roll, like however we doing it, everybody bring it to the table. And that's why I tell people I'm most proud of is we have built a table that's out of this world. I'm in Milan, Italy with Toby giving a toast and I said, this is our table. Bro, I didn't meet Toby already rapping. I didn't meet him already doing his thing. I didn't meet David Michael Wyatt when he was already a top singer in the world. Like, we built this. And we can sit at it. And I sit at it humbly and comfortably and knowing that God is blessing us with every single step we take. And I didn't have to go outside of our own community to build this. I'm in your house. We in a studio that's incredible, in one of the most beautiful houses I ever seen. We built this together, me and you. Not no contract. How many contracts we signed together? Bruh.
None. Except for when we had the merger of the two.
That's it. How many contracts Jeremy and CJ signed together?
Oh, none.
Bruh, I wasn't telling you, hey, Jeremy, when I give you this game and you make $1 million off this curriculum, make sure you... Bro, we built this together. Your success is my success. And I feel that.
But that shows fear and insecurity when someone's constantly wanting to do that all the time. It's like you don't have the faith.
Or you don't have the relationship.
That part.
Or the character.
That part.
And I'm not mad at the contract. Trust me, contracts is cool. You do it by all means. I'm not telling you to do this. I'm saying with me and mine.
With your friends. And
I don't need no contract.
For sure.
Me and Toby don't have no contract.
Straight up.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just being real. We got a relationship. That's my brother for real. Me and he might have a contract just because when we had to start the company, we had to sign our names. We don't have no contract.
So, you know what's interesting, fun fact about C, Chris, you might not know, is when he started working with E, and then they left Michigan State, that was paying y'all a little something. He was making $1,200. You know what I'm saying, a month. He was making maybe $3,000 a month. That ain't no bread, right? But y'all walked away from that. You went a couple of years before you got paid. Talk about that, because people don't understand like they see where you are now, but they don't see the sacrifice. They don't see the hard work that y'all put in, that y'all
it's
talk
crazy.
about that.
Only one time I flinched, and E loved telling this story. And by flinched, I don't mean I was about to leave E, but so when we left, my wife took a rotational position with General Electric. My wife a beast. She retired now, but she was climbing the corporate ladder fast and furious. I'm talking about crazy. And so she took a job and it was paying decent. You know, it was her first roll out of college. So we had student loans. We was paying back stuff. So we didn't have a lot of bread. And I remember my wife came back one time and was like, she wanted to go to Cheesecake Factory. Now go figure, she in charge of like billions of dollars, literally billions at General Electric. But I run the household finances, right? So I was looking at the bank account. She was like, let's just, I'm getting out early. It's a Friday. Let's go to Cheesecake Factory. Bro, I remember looking at the account and realizing that we only had like $389 in there, something crazy, and we had rent doing some other stuff, and I had to look at my wife, and I was like, we can't afford to go right now. And I remember my wife, my wife down like 4 flats. She was like, don't even worry about it, we good. She was believing in the dream the whole time. But I did go Monday. It was a little, I don't know if you noticed, but like if you got a certain amount of credits, they'll let you go substitute teach. So all you got to do is, and I graduated, I had a master's degree. So I went down to HISD, Houston Independent School District, and I signed up to be a substitute teacher. They said it was going to pay you $100 a day. So I was like, bet. Now, mind you, me and E still working every day. Bro, I'm in the classroom, substitute teaching, still on calls with E. I'm telling them kids, like, hey, do what y'all want to do. Leave me the hell alone. Hey, E. But then I remember a couple times E was like, was that a school bell? I was like,
you're like, don't worry about that.
Exactly. Yeah. And I promise you, he was like, hey, let it go, bro. And I was like, I got you. And I let it go. And that was a little side money that I wanted to have. But he was like, yo, you got to stay focused.
Nah. So run it back. Because the average person will struggle to just be like, yo, I'm not getting paid. Mm-hmm. But now you trying to stop me from bringing in income to my house. I'm still going to do my job. Like, let me get this. But for E to be like, hey, I need you all the way locked in, like we going somewhere, and your posture to be like, bet, like that. I'm just highlighting that because the average person, that's not even the 1%, bro. That's like the 1% will probably say, all right, bet, but they feel corrosion in their heart. 1% of the 1% is like, bet, with a pure heart. Like, you know what? All right, bet, I'm going all in. Talk about that, bro, because that's different. And that's when my love and respect for you went to the roof, because I was like, oh, he a real one.
Oh, yeah, no, it was tough. But it's what I signed up for. If nothing else, I'm a man of my word. And I told E, bro, I got you. We're going to ride this thick and thin, good or bad. I'm going to give you everything I got. And I knew being in that school, I wasn't giving them everything I had. I just had to be honest with that. And so when he said that, it just kind of snapped me back to reality. But let me tell you something. For those of you out there, because one of the number one things that people love to say when we go anywhere or when we do a conference or anything, like, I need to find my CJ. And I hate that, right? I hate it because it makes it sound like
you was already prepackaged, perfect, and with all this wisdom.
You were 101. You can't go find your CJ.
And I'm not mad, and I'm not saying, I'm not even trying to say like, oh, I'm just whatever. But what I'm saying is, you not ET.
Hey, what's up, y'all? Jeremy Anderson here, founder of Next Level Speakers Academy. And look, we're always looking to see how we can take to the next level. Me and my team have been meeting, and we said, man, how can we enhance the experience, right? How can we put the people within our community in the best position to get as many opportunities to speak and share their gift and their message with the world? I am pleased to announce that we have just launched our Next Level Brand Studio. For those of you all that's in the Facebook group and online and send me DMs, Jeremy, who did your website? Who does your branding? Who did your EPK? Who does your reel? We now build a team of people that's been working with us for years that's now going to work with you. So for those of you all that want a brand, right? You want a real custom logo and an EPK and business cards. You really want to put yourself in the best position to really be taken seriously. We've got the opportunity for you, right? For those of you that said, man, I need a website that's nice like yours, Jeremy. I don't have as much content, but I got enough to get a really strong website to put me in the best position. Man, we've done so many websites. We've got the team, the crew ready to support you. For those of y'all that realize people don't want to book speakers who are trying to be speakers, they want to book speakers who are already speaking. And you understand the importance of having a real polished and powerful professional speakers reel. Man, we got the team that's been working with me for over a decade, and now my team is your team. So whether you need a brand, a branding and a logo and EPK and all of that, whether you need a brand new website, whether you need a speaker's reel, Next Level Brand Studio is the go-to place for premier speakers like you. It's ready to take your message and your brand and your story to the next level.
I wouldn't be this for nobody. I'm not saying I was just running around. Whoever calls my name, I will be the number 2 man, and I'll take all this discipline and all of this sacrifice. I did it for him.
Yeah.
And I did it for him because of the vision that he painted, not only for himself, but for us. He painted a vision. He never was like, yo, when I blow up and I win the Nobel Prize and I'm a millionaire and he used to say, when we become millionaires, when we build this multi-million-dollar company, when we have several businesses, let me say something. He is a genius. He used to talk about stuff as if it already happened. Bro, he brainwashed me into thinking this is only a matter of time. Even when I went to substitute teach, it was just because I felt bad because I couldn't take my wife to dinner. It wasn't that I didn't believe in the dream. I never stopped believing in the dream because he would talk about it as if it was already done. He'd be like, yeah, so when we get these gigs that pay $200,000, I'm going to need you to go ahead. And I used to be like, yeah, I got you. We ain't getting 50 cents at this time. But that's how he talked, as if it was already done. And so from my leaders out there, you want to build a team and you want people to rock with you, but all you focusing on is yourself. Ain't nobody trying to come help you build your own kingdom. He told me I was going to build a kingdom too. I realized when he got to multi-millions, I at least had to be at 500,000. Then when he got over that, I was like, I at least got to be at $1 million. Now I'm trying to make him a billionaire.
Straight up.
I at least got to be at 100 million.
Right.
I'm talking about you see what I'm saying? And so our success was connected, and he always made me feel that. So I never felt like I'm working to build your stuff up. And I think now we got this God complex thing of I got the most followers in the group. So everybody just come serve me and take me to the next level. Your job is to paint how D can become a millionaire. If D can't become, nobody just trying to work for you forever and make 50, 60, 100 grand, 200 grand.
Right.
People got their own dreams and visions. That's why when Toby came and worked with us, I was like, you ain't got to be the driver forever. You're going to build a multi-million-dollar kingdom of your own. And then guess what? Now he got people under him, and now you see this starting to expand and compound, and it's crazy.
That's deep. That's deep. And so now people understand you came up, hella smart, speaking for the mayor, for the governor, winning awards, going to high school and college and bachelor's, master's degrees, all
First
of that.
one in my family to go to college. So imagine telling your mama, you done went to college. You the first one to go to college. First one to get a master's degree. And I'm about to leave this job and go do YouTube. And mind you, this is YouTube back in the day.
And there's no pay scale. It's just, we just invest in sweat.
And listen, I'm from Lansing, Michigan, home of the blue collar 9-to-5ers. I'm talking about home. Ain't nobody even heard the word entrepreneurship.
Straight up.
It's sexy now, but like back in the day, that just was code word for you broke and ain't got no job. You know what I'm saying? So nobody could believe. And I was borrowing money from my mom and dad during that time when I'm trying to blow up with a master's degree. And I remember everybody being like, so wait, see, he got a master's degree. What does he do?
Smart, but
you supposed to be like, you supposed to be working or something. You know what I mean? So yeah.
And people was looking at you like, but you, man, homie. In high school, you was the man, homie. What happened to you?
Luckily, this was before social media, so I dipped out. I was out the state, so nobody really knew what I was on.
They looking now, and they like,
I still don't be in there in the mix like that, but you know, I'm sure. And so they draw their own conclusions now. You know what I'm saying?
Let's talk about that, right? Because your posture is always like, bro, I'm falling back. I'm putting the spotlight on me and what we building.
Yeah.
Like, what is it about you that makes you say, I want to illuminate others as opposed to illuminating myself? Like, I know you rock with the Secret to Success podcast page, but that's really just to push the podcast.
Yeah, of course.
So, like, talk about that to the person out there that's having a hard time making the main thing, or trying to really find that inner humility. Because it's an inner humility inside of you.
You know what, man? Necessity. One, I think I alluded to it earlier, and not that anybody who is out there doing it does. I don't have a innate need to be seen or any of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm at my core, I'm a private person.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like my kids, my wife, like I try to live a private life. The only thing that really bust my cover was the podcast. And we started that just doing audio only. We've been podding for 7 years.
Yeah.
We started audio only, and then it was like, all right, we could do some video, and now it's like I'm a little bit more recognizable. But I think necessity, because Jay, early on I learned that when E started blowing up, it was crazy, bro. Like, I could still move and shake. Like, we'd have a conference, and it'd be like, say, 500 people there. I could still walk through the middle of the crowd and go back and tell the cameraman, hey, we need to and walk back through, and then nobody know who I was.
Right.
And so I was like, man, I could slick move how I want to move. Right. And so even now, having anonymity, when I'm sitting at the table with multi-billion-dollar brands negotiating deals for Toby, they're not negotiating with a celebrity or somebody who already, they don't know who I am. And so I enjoy that posture of, my man might be, you know what I'm saying, one of the top big dog, we don't know, businessmen in the world, as opposed to Toby can't sit down and do his own, he can't be bad cop anymore. He got to be Toby the celebrity. He can't be He's like Jesus Christ on earth. Like, he can't be. So I could still be the heavy. I could still come in like, hey, we're not doing that. Shut it down. And you know what I mean? And so I enjoy being able to somewhat still play that role of whatever needs to get done can get done, because I don't have this public appearance to maintain.
Okay. So since you don't have the public appearance, and a lot of it is you building up everybody else, out of all of this, out of everything that you've done, what are some of them, or one of the most impactful things that you've actually felt and that stays true to you to keep you doing what you're doing?
Man, we were in, that's a great question, Crystal. We were in Australia, and some kind of reason, E is huge in Australia. Like, I think Australia might be our second biggest market besides the U.S.
Wow.
And Australia and London. But I remember the first time we toured, I believe it was the first time we toured in Australia. We were in Australia, and we had a VIP. Mm-hmm. Now, mind you, even though we in Australia and our demographic, is mostly like males between, let's say, 25 and 45, something like that, right? Mm-hmm. We're in the VIP session in Australia, and I'm sitting in there, and it's probably about 50 people in there, right? And people eating food and doing all this other stuff. It's a lady in there, probably 75-year-old white lady from Australia by herself. I'm like, maybe she brought her grandson or she got somebody with her that she's sitting in there the whole time, shaking her head. I'm like, man, this is crazy. So I was finally like, I got to go talk to this lady and find out, like, in a roundabout way, what you doing here? Like, why are you at a Eric Thomas VIP event in Sydney, Australia?
Right.
And I went up to her after it was all over, and I said, how you doing, ma'am? Thank you for coming out. She was like, oh, I wouldn't miss it for the world. And I was hoping she would just go right into it without me having to be like, hey, what the hell you doing here? Right. And so she didn't. So I was like, so how, like, she said, you probably think I'm not your average client, huh? And I said, not really. Yeah. And she said, I coach an all-boys rugby school here in Australia. She said, a few years ago, I was going through chemo. My rugby players and students would send me Eric Thomas's videos every time I had to go do chemo. And she was like, I beat cancer because of his videos.
Dang.
And I was like, huh? And she was like, yeah, I used to watch When You Want to Succeed As Bad As You Want to Breathe before every chemo treatment. And I remember, so that's crazy, right?
Chills.
So I remember being like, whoa. And then we came back literally like the next week, and we went to Maxie's juvenile facility. It's like I'm talking about like maximum security. These kids is in there for murder, everything else. And there was a 16-year-old black kid who was in there. I don't remember exactly what he was in for, but I was talking to him, and he was like, yeah, man. He's like, since I got in here, I've been trying to get my life on the right track, and I've been watching E.T.'s videos. And I said, which one? He said, When You Want to Succeed As Bad As You Want to Breathe.
Wow.
And I said, man, here's a 75-year-old white lady from Australia and a 16-year-old black kid from Detroit locked up. They watching the same video. In some kind of way, it's piercing their heart. That's God.
Yeah.
And so those moments are the moments that make me go, all right, cool. Continue to push. And I know what Jeremy's done for people in terms of his transparency and marriages and suicide prevention and all of those things. So when I see those things happen and I hear those testimonials, that's why it can't be about me.
Right.
Because even though I'm capable of it, I'm not going to sit up here and be like, oh, see, I can speak. You know what I'm saying? Like, but my position where God has me right now is best used to help my brothers push their platform, because somebody got to do this, and I have the skill set, so I'm gonna do this.
Man, amazing. So let me ask you a question. So let's talk about the partnership, the merger.
Come on,
between the two brands, the two entities, and now the next level, Speakers Academy. Like, when did you get to a point where you was like, you know what, it's time for us to come together? In case y'all don't know.
Yeah, come on. Tell them.
You know what I'm saying?
Let them know.
The next level Speakers Academy, it's not just me now. It's me, E.T., CJ, Inky Johnson. Like, we all came together. And C was the one that you actually put out a soft filler probably 6 months before it was official. And I was just like, cool. I didn't really know what that looked like. And so we just kept doing our thing. And then we followed back up and made it official. Talk about that.
You know what, man? It's weird because, it's almost like somebody could say you training up your competition.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, people will ask me that all the time. Like, wait, Jeremy and Inky do what E does. Why would you then train them to, like, it's almost like, imagine if, the 49ers coach was coaching up the quarterback from the Cowboys.
Right.
It's like, fam, that don't even make sense. Y'all gonna have to play the Cowboys. But I never looked at it like that. I always looked at it as, is so much out here.
Right.
We could never step on each other's toes.
Yeah,
but when we
in the army versus
exactly, and not to mention, I remember Hov said it a long time ago. He said, if every in your clique is rich, your clique is rugged, nobody will fall because everybody will be each other's crutches. And that stuck with me when Hov said that, because I was like, yo, like, that's true. It's like, bro, God forbid one of us got sick or one of us, like, I'm just, without a contract in place, I'm telling y'all to this day, I'm believing that if something was to happen to me, my brother Jeremy would pull up on my family.
Right.
Bro,
you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And not only just like, oh, I'm going to pray for y'all.
Yeah.
I'm believing he might be like, here go.
Yeah, for sure.
Not just this month or not just this year.
Yeah,
I'm going to look out. You see what I'm saying? Now, if I'd have been like, I can't help Jeremy. And Jeremy was making 70,000 or maybe making 100,000 just speaking here and there, and I wouldn't have helped him become this multimillionaire he is. Now I'm really playing myself in the long. You see what I'm saying? So I never looked at it as competition or anything else. When we started the speaker thing, we had our speaker program that was going forever. You had yours that was going forever. We never put as much energy and effort into it as I thought we should have during our time, and y'all was going crazy. But I did enjoy training speakers and all of that. And then E called me and was like, at the end of every year, to this day, and I don't do a whole lot for E. Like, people think like I just be with E all day traveling. He's somewhere right now speaking. I don't know where. He has a whole team for that. Right. Now, I'm still his right-hand man to the end of the day, but I don't like travel. I don't keep his schedule. I love it. People call me like, you think you could book E? I'm like, bro, I don't even know where E's at right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, I talk to him every day, but in terms of his gigs and stuff, like, that's on autopilot. He's number one in the world. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? It's like, he making 200,000 a speech. I'm like, what you want me to do? It ain't a whole lot for me to do. Give him 205,000. You know what I'm saying? So he kind of does his own thing. But yeah, no, it got to a point where E every December would call me and be like, yo, here's what I want to do next year. Like, this is what I want you to focus on in terms of as it relates to me. So he said, the year before, he said he wanted to write
New York Times bestseller.
I said, bro, that's the one thing we need to add to the portfolio. I said, we got books. We made millions of dollars. We got companies. We got real estate. We got everything. I said, you the number one speaker in the world, but we don't have a classic book or autobiography yet. I said, Tony got like Awaken the Giant Within. You got How to Win Friends, Influence People. You got Rich Dad, Poor Dad. You got all of these classics. And I was like, we ain't got one. Let's just be real. And so we did the book. God's grace, it became a New York Times bestseller. Not one of them fake ones that people would be like, it's a bestseller.
And it's not.
Said by my grandma. We really hit the New York Times bestseller list. And so then after that, he was like, yo, I'm ready to start training speakers on a whole nother level. Like, I think, E in his 50s now. So I think he's starting to see like, all right, let me start making sure that people understand why I do what I do and train up another army of individuals to go out and do this work, because there's so much that needs to be done. There's so many schools that need somebody to come in there. There's so many corporate companies. There's so many opportunities, period. And so when E called me with that, Jeremy and I had told Jeremy before, like, why don't it's like, I remember one time we had like an event at the same time as his event. I was going to speak for his event on like a day that we had an event. And I'm like, okay, this is getting crazy now.
And then I'm seeing comments online. People that's like, should I go to Jeremy's event or ET's event? I was thinking to myself, like, this don't even feel right.
It don't even feel right. And so when E said that, I called Jeremy again and was like, hey, bro. And here go the funniest part. He was like, I said, hey, I think we just need to, I said, first of all, and I hit Inky up. I'm like, bro, we number one in the world. We might as well just make this whole conglomerate number one. And Jeremy was like, bet. And I came over, I think I met with the team and everybody was sitting there. It was kind of elephant in the room, but I like awkward moments. That's one of my things. Like, my wife hates them. My wife hates awkward moments. I love them. I don't know why. It's weird. I just live for them. Anytime something awkward happened in the room, I'd be sitting there like, this about to be good. So anyway, it was like a couple little hints around like, because ours was Game Changers.
Right.
And then they was like, yeah, so Next Level Speakers Academy, you know, as you can see, we got a lot of branding. And, so I was like, oh, they want to ask me, is it cool to keep the name or we going to have to? And so I just sat there and let them go through the motions. And then after a minute, I was just like, bro, Next Level Speakers Academy. It don't need to be Next Level Game Changers. It don't need to be, I said, it's Next Level Speakers Academy, bro. Yeah. I said, I believe in everything y'all have done. Y'all done taken this further than we taking ours, just to be perfectly honest. #1 in the world. But like I said, we didn't put the energy and effort that, bro, I'm seeing y'all stuff and I'm like, y'all moving in excellence. I'm like, I'm not tripping. I'm like, bro, we take it right over there. So anyway, we got that out. That was like the only question everybody had was like, what we gonna call it? And I was like, bro, Next Level, let's go. So you see, I be rocking the merch now. I'm all in. So
so let me say this, right? So when we come together, my team send the first draft of the first promo, and they got Inky, me in the middle, E right here. And I said, oh, praise God. I need to educate them. I was just like, because y'all's posture of, bro, we ain't no pride, bro. We'll adopt y'all's name. Yeah. I hit my team back. I said, hey, respectfully, don't ever do that again.
Yeah.
They was just
put
like,
the big homie in the middle.
I said, man, bro, this the big homie, the man of God. I've known E since I was 11. Like, he was 21. I was like, bro, like, he gave me, I wouldn't be where I am and who I am if it wasn't for, put him in the middle. Yeah. Bump that hoof out, put him in the middle. But I'm not
mad at the team, though. They like, look, I know where my check come from. You know what I'm saying? You're going to have to tell me, because I know where my check being signed. Sure. He ain't wrote me no checks.
Yeah. I was like, I ain't mad at y'all, but now we know.
Yeah.
He in the middle. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And me and Inky by his side, because he gave us the game. And so,
And I think the dynamic is crazy. Just watching you, Inky, E, all together, all different styles, but all training up, you know, the next generation of speakers. Listen, man, we say it all the time, it's a multi-billion-dollar industry, bro. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, to think that we talked about thousands and thousands, between Inky, Jeremy, and E, there's thousands of engagements. Listen to what I say. Thousands of engagements that go unfulfilled every year.
Oh, yeah. I take about a little under 5% of the requests that come in for me.
So look how much is out there, not only for you to become successful financially as a speaker, but how much impact. Because guess what? Just because somebody called E from a correctional facility in Texas and he couldn't do it because they only have $5,000, don't mean that somebody don't need to be in there talking to them boys.
And somebody is going to go.
Absolutely.
And I think that's the power of our partnership and the three of us coming together. And then we in alignment.
Yeah.
With our values and everything. So we just made...
our families are already family. It's just easy, bro. Him and Eda had a joint birthday party together. You know what I'm saying?
I'm so sad I missed that.
Yeah,
it was like so much fun. I was
a funeral.
I was at a funeral.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Where at?
In New Orleans.
Okay.
There you go.
It's a short flight.
It
was an evening funeral.
But it's weird. It's like, bro, Crump got a son and a daughter. I got a son and a daughter. You got a son and a daughter. Inky got a son and a daughter. E.T. got a son and a daughter. Like, bro, I look at stuff like that too. Like, this is weird. And you know what he told me when he was in
I didn't think about that.
Bro, I thought about that. Yeah, it's crazy.
Wow.
Y'all got one boy, one girl.
Yeah.
Bro, he hit me in Milan. I said, hey, you good? He said, man, I'm just trying not to put no dirt on your name. I said, really? What do you mean? He's like, bro, don't get it twisted. Every day, because we in alignment like this, like partners. He's like, bro, every day I'm focused on not putting no dirt on your name.
Yeah.
He's like, because what I do reflects you. I was that's refreshing.
Oh, yeah.
To have these type of partnerships. I ain't got to worry about Crump getting caught up on no dumb stuff. I know he got my best interests at heart, bro. This is
And let me say something. I got to say this every time I go on anything. He is the GOAT. I don't know if I need to look into the camera. I want to let everybody know.
Right there.
Whatever you say about CJ, he is the GOAT. Listen, 17 years of being this man right hand.
Straight up.
I've seen the ups, the downs, the ins, the outs, and everything else. And to this day, and Deontay Wilder, to this day, man, that man is literally the GOAT. And I appreciate him every day. My family, he's godfather to my children. He's the most incredible human being. He's not without flaw, because none of us are.
Right.
He's the most incredible human being I've ever been around in my life to this day. The way he moves, the way he operates, the care and love that he has for other people. Yeah. And I'm not talking about just now being a celebrity or whatever else. Matter of fact, I was watching Monday Night Football yesterday. They was like, hey, that dude look like Eric Thomas on the game. Like, he a household name now.
Yeah.
But I will say this, since the day I met him, I watched him give money. I watched him give time. I watched him give energy. And not just when the cameras is on and people are looking. I watched him back in the day go clean up the church for 3 hours by himself.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is before all of this stuff, and we'll still do it to this day. We used to be on the road. We could only afford one hotel room. My man will put a pallet on the floor and refuse to sleep in the bed and let me have the bed.
Sure.
And when I say refuse, same thing you was on. Hey, E, you the big dog. I'm only in my early 20s. I'll sleep on the floor. He would be like, we both gonna sleep on the floor then. Like that's the man he is, and that's who he still is to this day. And so that's why I tell people, bro, I if I gotta be the right hand man, Robin to the Batman, the Dennis Rodman, the Scottie Pippen, whatever else you want to call me, I'll be all of that because that he's the GOAT.
Okay. So I know we got to wrap it up, but you can't come on the Next Level Living podcast and not tell us what's next in your life.
Yeah.
Whether it be personal, spiritual, venture.
Yeah.
What are you looking forward to next in your life?
Retirement. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Retirement. No, you know what? Honestly, man, this has been a really cool season for me. With Jeremy, Inky, E, it's all been kind of like, I'm familiar with this world. What's been really fun for me lately is growing and stretching me in another way with, Toby's business, right? And I've had to come in and, his team does an incredible job, but it's just gotten so vast that I've had to come in. So it's actually really cool now, and I'm looking forward to learning even more about, we got Hollywood agents, we got movies, we got, just all of this stuff. Y'all saw the Transformers joint. I'm in different countries with it. So while it's a lot of similarities in terms of how we blew the brand up and all of the steps we followed and everything else, it's been really cool for me and kind of like me working out a different muscle, if you will, being on this side of it.
Sure.
So I would say for me, being back involved, like fully with him, his kids is my god kids. So I've been able to spend more time around them, just because the business is naturally pulling us back that way. But I would say that, and then, just enjoying life, man. You know what I mean? Like, I love what I do. I was joking about retirement, but, I wake up and do what I love with who I love every day.
Straight up.
So it's like, I don't really want to be doing it. Like, I'm over here doing a pie with my brother. Like, I don't do this, but it's my brother. Right. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I wake up and do what I want to do. So I look forward to, the team blessing the world, continuing to put that good stuff out, and just maintaining what we're doing and taking it to another level.
And coming over to the music industry a little bit.
Come on, man. Hey, listen.
Look,
come on.
It's always nice to have family over there.
Come on.
Yeah,
what we doing? Let me know.
She got the juice.
Come on. Let me know.
Offset too. Tell her about what you're doing.
I love it too, because since Toby blew up, I don't know nothing about the music industry. I'm learning. But since Toby blew up, man, it's like old school cats think I'm Suge. They be like, my man, just listen to my mixtape. I know what you did for Toby.
Right, you like,
I'll be like,
it's not the same.
Didn't quite work out like that, but you know what I'm saying? Cats be, so.
I love it.
Anyway,
they shot.
I'm learning though. We still independent.
Right.
So we still, as I would say he's top 2 or 3 independent artists in the world right now. You talk about the main stages that we're getting on from being independent. And when I say independent, cats be saying they're independent. They still got correct. Yeah, they don't be independent.
Little label.
We still really independent. And
it's a hard world as an independent artist.
Oh, it's super hard. Yeah. And everybody be like, oh, you signed a deal. I don't think there's no right or wrong answer. I think it's whatever works for you. We just so used to getting it out the mud. Yeah. And we came up off that Master P. You know what I'm saying? Sell it out the back of the trunk. And but hey, if anybody out there listening, we still listening. You know what I'm saying? It just ain't nothing made sense yet.
Let's talk offline for sure.
So the Next Level Speakers podcast. Let's end with that.
Man, dog, that's so fun for me. You do your own pod here, I do my own pod, and then we come together to do the Next Level Speakers podcast. And we just been able to really find like incredible people who've come through our program and been out impacting the world. And these aren't a couple of the names you might know, Jamal King, I'm Inky and E, Beyond, whatever. But I'm talking about individuals who may not be household names yet, who are out killing the game, getting 6-figure contracts, making a huge change in the community. So it's been dope to kind of see that next wave of influencers and speakers and game changers who are going to come through this thing and really take it to the next level. So it's been super fun. You know what I mean? Man. Just pulling out those stories. hearing about their journey.
Yeah,
you
and
know
then they
what I mean?
sharing what works. So for those of you all that's interested, you know what I'm saying, in being professional speakers, like the Next Level Speakers podcast is going to be a game changer for you, because we're pulling back the curtain. We're talking about what we've done, what we've learned. I got a segment called The Butcher's Cut, right? A select piece of game we give you. And then we highlight and interview people in our community that's out here killing it, and they're telling you how they're killing it too. So, man, I'm excited for that. I'm excited for what we're building. I'm excited for where we're going. God showed me in 2020, May of 2020, we had our first event.
Yeah.
And God showed me, like, this not just a speakers program.
Yeah.
He said, this kind of like some discipleship.
Come on.
You raising up the next generation of speakers now to be able to do it with y'all, and we doing it together, bruh.
Yeah.
Game changer. So y'all check out the Next Level.
Yeah, no, it's phenomenal, man. Yeah, y'all definitely check it out. It's phenomenal.
Yeah. Man, appreciate you being on,
man,
brother.
Appreciate y'all, man. This was fun, even though I didn't know I was going to do this. You know what I'm saying? It was still fun. I'm glad Crystal was here for the good questions. You know what I'm saying?
There we go.
Yeah.
Appreciate you,
love,
man.
baby.
Yeah, love, man. We'll see
it.
y'all next week. Let's get it.